Now, what happens when you go overseas is the expectations are more down to earth. So if you're not going out in the sticks to try to get a super broke woman or something like that, and you still want, quality, high quality woman, the expectations are more realistic because they were raised in a traditional household. So you're not going to hear some stupid shit like a chick going, those questions that they had on those channels. I forgot what her name was. It was a chick. She was interviewing them, the Pagani BC chick. And she asked them, what is the average income like you think men are making, or what income do you want your man to make? And the women were answering crazy shit. Like a single fucking mother was saying she wants her man to make $600,000. She wants a Pagani BC. Another one was like, he's got to be making like a milli, 200, 300. Like they're pulling numbers out of their ass. Like most of these chicks don't make more than $40,000 to $60,000. You're not even in the vicinity of a man. Yes, Courtney Ryan. These women aren't in the vicinity of a man making six figures. But, and this is a big but that guys need to understand, what does happen is they've been pumped and dumped by a man that makes that kind of money. The reason they say 600,000 is because the guys they're matching up with, the guys that they literally rolled up to their house, got pumped, and I swear to you, this is how it works. I have plenty of friends that are north of millions of dollars. I myself have managed to do this back in my heyday. I was also very successful with my business. I got to dip my toe in that kind of shit. And I seen it. Chicks will literally come to your house, smash at the potential of them being memorable to you, of standing out. This is how women think they stand out today, by having sex with you and doing acrobatics, and so that you can call them back and they're different from other women. I'm not joking. So with very little incentives to have them stick around, with very little effort to get them in bed, men are inviting them over, and these women think like, oh my God, they're, how leading with the smash is the perfect way to describe it. Do you know how men fuck up and lead with their wallets? Well, women today, when they're after a man, lead with the smashing. They lead with their kitty. I'm telling you, it sounds insane, but it's just as insane when you say, like, stop leading with your wallet as a man because a woman will use you for your money. And women know, like, instinctually, don't be an idiot, bro. If you give me your wallet, I will take it and use you for every penny you have. It's the same shit, but women don't understand. Hey, don't lead with your kitty. I'm going to take it and not fucking call you back after. But that's literally, they think they're God's gift to earth. They can't fathom that. The thing that a man thinks when he's getting it like that is, oh, you probably do this for every guy. He's not going to think he's special. He's just going to think you're easy. And women somehow, and she literally could be the one chick that only gave it up to you like that, but you would never know, and you're never going to trust her because she did that. So women are literally throwing their own value away. It's hilarious. Yeah. ML, thanks for the 5, brother. How do I force my younger brother to work harder? He's currently a NEET, and my parents are supporting it. Well, your parents are supporting it. You can't force shit if your parents are enabling him. That's the issue. Yeah. How do you force somebody to do something when their, back's not up against the wall? Mommy and daddy's got you. Think about that for a second. The bailout is there, bro. He's perpetually bailed out by mommy and daddy. Nah, he's got no shot, unfortunately. Yeah. See if I can move this off to the side. All right. Too family to fail, basically. Leave that poor dude alone, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my dad is a doctor and my mom is a CMO, so they fund his life. Game over. He's done. He's cooked. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere, bro. You just said that man is just living, mooching off the family. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. So anyway, back to somebody that wrote that his sister was complaining that women are the ones checking out. If you do look online, there are, and we've heard a bunch of the TikToks, by the way, that women are actually complaining about dating and it being hard right now. But it's not why you think it is. It's what we were describing earlier. Because I want you to understand something about this before we get into all these specifics. Every single problem that women are bitching about in modern dating, they literally created it. Every single one. I'm not being hyperbolic here. Just go look online and you'll read about women's experiences, all their complaints, and they all boil down to, why can I find A high value man who will commit to me after I spend my 20s fucking around and now I'm 32 with a body count in the double digits and a shit attitude. The answer is because you destroyed your own sexual market value. You ruined the culture that would have protected you, and you voted for all the economic and social policies that made this entire fucking mess that we're living in. Do you understand? I don't think that they understand this, actually. We'll start with the most basic reality that women refuse to accept. You cannot ride the cock carousel for a decade, fuck 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 dudes, prioritize your career over relationships, and then somehow you suddenly decide at 30 that you want to settle down and expect high-value men to line up for you. What fucking planet are you on? That's not how your SMV works at all. That's not how pair bonding works. That's not how male psychology works, period. Men don't want to wife up the town a bicycle. We don't want to be the guy who wins the privilege of committing to you after fucking 30 dudes got in you for free in your prime. And women know this deep down, which is why they lie about their body counts. But men aren't stupid. We can tell when a woman's been around, okay? There's actual science on this too. Pair bonding ability decreases with every partner. Oxytocin receptors are getting fucked up. Women who've had multiple partners, they're more likely to divorce. It's all in the stats. The data is literally overwhelming on this. But women don't want to hear this because it means they have to take responsibility for their choices. And look, I get it. The whole fucking feminist lie was that you could have it all. You can fuck whoever you want in your 20s. You could focus on your career. You could delay marriage. You could delay kids. Somehow it'll all work out for you, sis. You just manifest this perfect lifestyle, right? And you'll still be desirable at 35 because Sex in the City told you so. A bunch of old fucking hags were being successful getting pumped and dumped. That men will still want you somehow. That you'll find your perfect partner who meets your standards. That's complete bullshit. You got sold a lie. Biology doesn't care about your feminism. Your eggs don't give a shit about your career. Your fertility falls off a cliff after 30, and it gets even worse after 35. And by 40, you're basically done, right? But feminists, they told women, ignore this reality, you guys. Pursue education and get a career and delay family formation. And now we got a generation of women hitting the wall and panicking because the math doesn't fucking work anymore. There's a professor, I can't even remember what her fucking name was. She had a story where she followed some broke guy. She had an article about this. She followed a broke dude across borders, sponsored his fucking visa, carried the dude's Hollywood dreams for like 15 years, and then she acted shocked when he resented her for it. And she was framing this shit as men being intimidated by strong, independent women. What actually happened is she picked a fucking loser. She ignored all the red flags because she thought she could fix him. He's a bad boy. And then got mad when her terrible judgment blew up in her face. This is typical women dating right here. That's literally what female mate selection boils down to. Women are terrible at picking men. They can't decide on what to eat. What makes you think they can decide on the right man? Because their feelings get in the way. That's the point. They can't. Their feelings get in the way. This isn't even controversial to say, bro. The data proves this shit. Women initiate 80% of the divorces. I told you. Women are the ones that are monkey branching from relationship to relationship. Women are the ones who can't fucking commit. They're always looking to trade up. Who leave the second they're not happy anymore. Or, they want to meet someone with more money. Seriously, superficial. You think a woman will date a guy at McDonald's? No, but a millionaire could pull up in a drive-thru, see a super fucking hot chick as a cashier and go, you know what, I could change your life. No woman that has a college education. The moment a woman gets a college education and that piece of paper is in her hand, you know what she says? Fuck no, minimum must be college educated. You could be a dude, a plumber, with your ass crack hanging out half the day, and you got 7 other plumbers under you, and you're pulling down easy six figures. You're making millions. And she'll just, her nose will be up. She's holding it because it stinks. He's a plumber. You stupid bitch. He makes more money than you ever will. You're so fucking stupid. But they're addicted to the status. They're too dumb to make decisions. It's insanity, bro. How many women have thrown away good men to the wayside because of status, because of what they saw on TikTok, because of the amount of stupidity that's filtering through their brains from the fucking slop that they're consuming? It's never been worse today. But they want to frame it as men being commitment phobes. When it's women who's destroying commitment. Think about that shit. It's completely one-sided and dangerous for men to be in a committed relationship with a woman today. Her brain could be taken over by TikTok slop at any moment. You're one fucking shorts or reel or scroll away from her thinking she's better than you and you should get replaced. Marriage used to be a partnership, you guys. Man provides and protects. The woman does what? She nurtures and supports. What happened to that? Then you built a life together. You had your ups and downs. Nothing's perfect. That's life. It's two people. You're always going to get on each other's nerves. That's how this shit worked for thousands of years. It worked because both sides had some skin in the game. Both sides had some incentives to make this shit work. Feminism destroyed the incentive structure. It literally told women they don't need men. They're strong and independent. They can do everything a man can do. So women stopped holding their end of the fucking partnership. They stopped being feminine in the West. They stopped being supportive. They started competing with men instead of complementing them. This is why I tell you guys that adversarial attitude, that nature doesn't exist in the rest of the world. Women don't compete with men. They complement them. And so Western women are now fucking confused why men don't want to get married to them at all. Are you fucking kidding me? Are we not shouting from the rooftops over and over? It's insane. Why would any man, commit to a modern woman today? You have a 70% chance of getting divorced by her. She gets to take half your fucking assets, alimony, child support. Think about that shit. She can take your retirement, dude. That's insane. The system will literally back her. Lifetime alimony is a thing. Lifetime alimony is a thing. The system is so biased towards them. The entire step of the way, the moment the court proceedings begin. Think about this shit. Why? Because the way women vote. Women are the majority of voters today. And they vote for policies that benefit women at whose expense? Who else? It's a zero-sum game. At a man's expense. That's the political angle that nobody talks about. Women's suffrage has been a fucking disaster for Western civilization. I mean, I'm just going to fucking say it. There you go. Because it's true. It is. Women vote based on emotion and security, not fucking logic and freedom. They vote for bigger government, more welfare, more regulation, more safety at the expense of liberty. Look at the voting patterns. Women vote Democrat by huge fucking margins. Women support immigration, mass immigration, even though it makes them less safe. Women support feminist policies that literally destroy the family. Women support abortion, which has killed 80 million, if not more, babies in the U.S. alone. Since Roe v. Wade, women vote to expand government control over every aspect of our lives because they want daddy government to take care of them. And this shit's, I'm not speculating. This isn't, me being a misogynist. This is literally documented political science. You can look up the numbers. Women's political preferences lean heavily toward collectivism, safety, and emotion-based policy rather than freedom and logic-based policy. Look it up. Before women's suffrage, we had masculine republics with limited government. After women's suffrage, we have feminine democracies that metastasize into bureaucratic nightmares that regulate and tax us to death. You can draw, literal on the map, a direct line from women's suffrage to the expansion of the welfare state, probably to the destruction of the family unit, and to the insane economic policies that made it impossible for average people to afford housing, starting families, all of that shit. And women don't take any responsibility for this because taking responsibility would be, admitting that you fucked up. When do women ever do that shit? Actually, my wife did that the other day. Actually, I'll give her credit. My wife actually surprised me. We were working out in the gym and she came up and she apologized. She said, "I'm sorry." And I was like, wow, I didn't even have to coax this one out of you. You really just thought about everything and then came and admitted something. Anyways, let's get back to the complaints about dating. They're super ironic. So women are complaining that men don't approach them anymore, that men are low effort, that they won't commit, and they don't understand that women created this dynamic through hookup culture that they perpetuate. You wanted to be treated like a man. Congratulations, we're treating you like men. That means no special treatment, no coddling, no pretending you're special just because you have a vagina. You wanted equality, you actually got it. Now you're competing in the sexual marketplace like everyone else, and you're discovering that you're just not as valuable as you thought you were. So women complaining about men being broke, not making enough money, all that shit. But women voted for policies that destroy male employment. How rich is that? Women support mass immigration, which suppresses wages for working class men. Ironic, isn't it? Women support regulations that kill small businesses and that essentially employed men. Women support college policies that discriminate against male students. Women create hostile work environments with Me Too, HR departments that treat every man as a potential rapist. We all know what it's like. And then you're shocked that men are checking out, that men are broke, that men don't want to bust their asses to make money when the government is going to tax the shit out of them and their potential girlfriend is going to view them as a walking ATM. You created this, you fucking tards. And the economic complaints are my favorite because they just reveal how a woman's thinking is completely backwards. What the fuck? I can't remember. Something Dawson, there's this writer. He's talking about 1 in 3 women stay in toxic relationships due to financial dependency, okay? And he was framing it as a problem that society needs to solve. But the financial dependency used to be called marriage. You fucking numbnuts. That's the partnership. That's what that meant. The man provides financially. The woman provides other value. You build a life together. That's called depending on each other. That's how families work. That's how literally civilization was built. Literally. But then feminists reframed normal relationships as economic entrapment. I'm not joking. That's what they call that shit. That women depending on a man is somehow oppression. We've heard that before. So women should go get their own careers, make their own money, never say you need a man, all that shit. What do you need a man for? He's like, does a fish need a bicycle? You remember that stupid shit? By a fucking CIA op, no less. Okay, fine. Then you don't get to turn around and complain that men aren't providing for you. That men aren't stepping up to be husbands and fathers for you. You can't have independence and security. You can't fucking reject financial dependency and then complain that men aren't financially supporting you. Pick one, you delusional fuck. Like, pick your struggle, bro. You don't get to be like Schrodinger's feminist, simultaneously like a victim and empowered. And this is what gets to this core of the hypocrisy. Because women actually want the benefits of both traditional and modern arrangement with none of the responsibilities of either. They want men to pay for dates, to make more money, to be providers, but they also want to maintain independence, total independence, and the ability to leave whenever they want with no consequences. Get fucked. Never gonna happen. Get fucked. You will be sharing a man and you'll be part of a harem. That's your prize. Stupid games, stupid prizes. You can't call that shit a relationship. That's parasitism. That's what that is. The amounts, dude, of women that are complaining that men demand sex after buying dinner, clutching their fucking pearls like it's some outrageous expectation. You went on a date. He paid for your food and your drinks, and you're shocked that he expects something in return. Cindy, unreal. Dating used to have clear rules. Man pays, makes an effort, courts the woman. Woman shows appreciation. Is feminine, receptive, rewards his effort with affection. That's how this shit used to work. Feminism destroyed those rules too. They told women that you don't owe men for anything. And now men have adjusted their expectations accordingly. Okay? You want to be treated independent and equal? Fine, split the check, bitch. Pay your own way. Men will invest effort when they see a return on investment. That's simple. And modern women provide no ROI. Everyone in the chat here knows what I'm talking about. Read all the complaints. They're bitching about men ghosting, not committing, treating them like they're disposable. No shit, dude. That's how you've been treating men for decades. You ghost men constantly. You flake on dates. You string guys along while you're fucking someone else. You branch to another dude who you think's better the second he appears in your life. Turnabout is fair play. This is karma. Because they love karmic retribution so much. Congratulations. You played yourself. Men learn from women's behavior. And now they're applying the same strategies right back at them. And they don't like it at all, do they? So how the fuck are women the ones complaining about hookup culture and apps making dating superficial? You created the hookup culture. Feminists fought for sexual liberation, for consequence-free sex, to remove all stigma from promiscuity. You guys got what you wanted. Now you're dealing with the consequences of a dating market where commitment is dead and everybody's trading up based on looks and status and you don't like what's happening? Are you fucking retarded? You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's over, bro. You destroyed the social fabric that enforced monogamy and commitment. And now you're in a free-for-all where the top 10% of dudes have access to all women, and average men and average women are both miserable now. Congratulations. And women won't admit their role in this. It's always a man's fault. They refuse to self-reflect, bro. They refuse accountability. It really is kryptonite. Literally, it's like almost they're like physiologically incapable of this shit. It's always someone else's fault. Always a man's fault. Always society's fault. The government's fault. Never the fact that you made the terrible choices and now you're dealing with the consequences. This shit's crazy. Women are the ones that are, think about social media and shit like that. Women are addicted to their phones, to social media, to the validation they get from it, the constant attention and entertainment. Men would be perfectly happy with just, a text every few hours. It's women who need the constant contact and reassurance because they're fucking neurotic and insecure. It's insane. What pisses people off the most about all these complaints when you read about them, especially from the man side, is like the lack of gratitude. Absolutely. Women in the West are so privileged and protected, probably the most coddled demographic in human history. You have every legal protection, every social advantage, every single opportunity is afforded to you. You can vote, you can own property, you freely get educated, you can pursue any career you want. You're protected from violence, from literal consequences, from accountability in your own actions. Men built all of this. Men created the wealth, the technology, the legal systems, the entire infrastructure that gives you this comfortable life. And your response is to complain that you can't find a man good enough for you while you bring nothing to the table except debt, attitude, and fucking blown out puss. Get fucked. Like men collectively are saying, fuck you. So when these femmes are asking, why are men checking out? Why are they going MGTOW or passport bros? Oh my God, foreign women. Why the fuck would you do that? Or they're just focusing on making money and fucking around and pumping and dumping. Why would men do this? Because dealing with modern women is not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. The famous saying. You're terrible relationship partners. You destroy everything you touch and you will never take responsibility for any of it. And the fertility rates fucking prove it. Every Western country is below replacement. Marriages are at historic lows. Everyone's miserable. This is what feminism built. A generation of women who are too delusional, too entitled, and too ruined to be wives and mothers. And then you have a generation of men who figured out the game is rigged and opted out. Think about that. But somehow they'll still blame men for not stepping up and fixing them from their own mistakes. It's insane, dude. It's insane. Literally blame everybody but themselves. So, yeah. Think of the political consequences, though. I've been thinking about this for the last few days. Women are the ones voting for the open borders that Europe's fighting right now. They're literally importing millions of foreign men who they have no hangups about literally your woman's rights. None. You're importing your own replacement, your own literal oppressors, because you're so obsessed with feeling morally superior and compassionate that you'll destroy your own civilization to signal virtue. It's got to be a form of psychosis. Women are you aborted 80 million babies. Like, what? That's more than every war in American history combined. You genocided your own offspring because pregnancy was inconvenient. Because you wanted to focus on some shit like a career? You fucking kidding me, dude? And now they'll be 35 years old. If for the 35-year-olds listening to this, your eggs are dying. You want to have kids. We know this. But you can't find a man who will commit to you. Why? You spent 15 fucking years making yourself unmarriageable. And instead of admitting that you fucked up, you'll blame men for being intimidated by strong women. Wrong. You'll blame society for supporting, or I should say for not supporting working mothers. Wrong. Or you'll blame literally anything except your own discrepancies. Wrong again. But that's just female nature. No accountability ever. It's always someone else's fault. And then we gave women political power because we're fucking retarded. And they vote to expand the lack of accountability through the legal system, through welfare programs, through divorce courts that destroy men, through laws that criminalize male sexuality while protecting female promiscuity. That's why patriarchies were the norm throughout history. Not because men were oppressing women, but literally because when women have power, they destroy civilizations. They vote based on emotion, guys, not logic. Get it through your head. They pursue short-term security over long-term freedom. They care more about feelings and facts than facts, And while they tank entire societies just so they can avoid uncomfortable truth, we're literally watching this happen in real time. Every Western nation that gave women full political rights is now in demographic and cultural collapse. Literally. Masculinity is demonized, femininity is celebrated, and the result is a generation of weak men, miserable women, and no children to carry on this fucking civilization that we built. And when it all comes crashing down very soon, when Western civilization is collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions, and we're conquered by cultures that don't make the same mistake of giving tards power, future historians will point to women's suffrage as the turning point. The moment we decided to ruin civilization based on feelings rather than facts. And we doomed ourselves in the process. We got fucked. And none of that shit matters to modern women. You think it's funny. Do you think they think about Rome? Do you think they think about the empire? Do you think they think about what could have been, what was? I don't think so. Yeah. A woman will be like, I'm unhappy, therefore society needs to change to cater to me. She can't find a man good enough for her, therefore men need to improve. She made terrible choices, therefore everyone else needs to deal with the consequences of her own actions. That's literally the feminine mindset. That's what we're dealing with. And until women collectively take responsibility for the culture they created, for all their voting patterns that destroyed this economy, the sexual marketplace that they ruined with hookup culture, nothing will get better. So I'm asking you, when are you going to take accountability? Until you do, it's only going to get worse. Women are going to end up more and more alone and more miserable. Men are going to just say, fuck it. They're going to check out en masse, continue growing in numbers, that they're opting out of the system, and the civilization around us will collapse because women refuse to admit that maybe feminism wasn't such a good idea and we better backtrack a little bit. It was a lie. We got sold a dream that sexual liberation actually destroyed our chances of being successful for marriage. The whole you could have it all it's bullshit. Actually, it was CIA slop. That's what it actually was. Feminism was pushed by the CIA. They don't even know that. Spook slop is what they consumed. By the time they literally figure that shit out, it'll be too late, dude. Your eggs will be dead. The men will be gone. The civilization that their grandmothers inherited will be a distant fucking memory. Men are trying to desperately avoid this shit. Insane. Oh, I got my fucking career. I'll get to sleep around in my 20s. You're totally worth it, sis. Good job. Strange dick in your 20s was worth ruining the rest of your life for. Stupendous.